All right, you know what it is. This one is going to be about TVs, man. About TVs. TVs, remote controls, and prison radios. All right? Let's get it right.
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located on the North Mile in Freeport.
Tune in to Unique Mecca Audio.
All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm going to tell you about how you could lose your life over a TV, man. How simple it is to lose your life over a TV. Then I'm going to tell you how creative Inmates is all at the same time, but I'm going to do a separate video about how creative they are. Now, TVs. Now, you come into prison, and, when I first came in, they might have had 2 TVs, 3 TVs, in a dorm. You know what I mean? When I say a dome, it sells just like behind me. So imagine right there at the front of the tier, you know what I mean? Right in front of me, where you can't see, they got a TV right there. You know what I mean? And then behind that, a couple of feet behind that, about 10, 15 feet, is another TV. You know what I mean? And 10, 15 feet behind that is another TV. That's 3 TVs for all these cells you see right here. And everybody in these cells right here got to share those 3 TVs. You understand what I'm saying? Now, but I'm going to take it back to the 90s. In the 90s, they only had 1 TV. And everybody in upstairs and downstairs that you see had to share that 1 TV. So now you got dudes that got money, so I come in, I got a little paper, so I might go, you know what I mean? And I go buy a remote control. So now I buy a remote control, and I can change the TV when I want, and when the door's locked, I can stick my hand out the door, point the mirror up to the door, and change the channel. Flick, 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 right? So now everybody tell me what they want to watch or whatever. I was always working with the brothers. But then now you got this other unit that the homies is in, that dude got a remote, and he feels like it's his TV, and he watch what he want to watch. So when the door's locked, he do what he want to do. You know what I mean? When the doors is open, he still feel like he do what he want to do. So now, but let me tell you this, all right? You see this remote right here? The police ran around looking for these remotes. So we'll go buy them because we could, somebody work in the chapel would steal it because they got them in the chapel for when you go down there and watch religious movies. They got them in the recreation center when you go down there and go watch recreational movies. Or in the leisure library, when you go down there and watch movies, they got the remote. So dude, take the remote, cuff the remote, steal the remote, bring it back. Police go looking for it, bust it, right? Keep the story moving because, I like to keep my story right to the point. Then you got these radios now. Now you got these radios, and you got the guys that come in prison that's so ingenuitive that they know how to take this remote control and put it in this radio. Yes, this remote control and put it in this radio. So all they need is the power button, that little red button, and then right here, the volume, you know what I mean? And then over there, the channel changing. Now, let's get this right. You know what I mean? So this becomes the power button right here. You understand? And these 2 buttons, you take any one of these 2 buttons here next to each other, like these 2 buttons here. This would be the up and down. Oh, my bad. This would be the up and down. You know what I mean? For the channel. And then these other 2 buttons over here would be the channel changing. So dude would sit there, and right up here, they'll cut a little light in the top. And that little light in the top would be this sensor light. You know the sensor light, when you hit the joint, the light come on, bang, 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 right? So now you point the radio at the TV and you change the channel. You know what I mean? Seems fun and ingenuitive. Everybody gonna work together. But now this get in the wrong hands, and this could cost somebody their life. Now you got a dude that feel it's his TV. He got the remote control the radio, and he turned the channel. He doing what he want to do. Click, 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 click. You know what I mean? So now you got to do that every day. You know what I mean? My man, y'all wanted the Chicago story. Let me give y'all a Chicago story. We got my Chicago homie, you know what I mean? And he liked watching his sports and things like that. So everybody know in prison, and this is what they say, sports take precedence. Whenever it's a game on, especially like a playoff or definitely Super Bowl, or finals, that take precedent over whatever you want to watch. If you wanted to watch Michael Jackson, Empire, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Power. We didn't have Power, but I just used that being it's a big hit show. Big shout out to 50 Cent. Whatever you want to watch. You understand what I'm saying? If a playoff game is on or finals is on, that take precedent. But you got a dude that gets this in his hands and he feel like that's his TV. You know what I mean? So now, every time he come in the unit, you know what I mean? Before I get to that night, let me get to the night joint. So now every night, you know what I mean? Whatever somebody's watching, dude will pull up and he'll just start clicking the channel, bang, bang, and looking for a game to watch. So he don't care what you watching. You understand what I'm saying? It's his remote, his TV. Bang, 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 bang. He just changing the channel on you. And you sitting there and you don't want no problem. You say, man, I'm trying to get up out of jail, so I got to chill out. You know what I mean? And you watching something, dude, change the channel, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And then now, you be like, yo, homie, why you change the channel? I was watching that. Now it's a commercial, homie. I'm going to put it back. So now he watching what he want to watch. You know what I mean? Until he get bored with that, then he'll put it back on what you was watching. You understand what I'm saying? And as soon as he put it back on what you was watching, whatever you was watching, you know what I mean? Done been on while he was watching what he was want to watch because the commercial done went off, came on, ran over, and he's still sitting there watching what he put it on in between the commercial for 10 minutes. And then he put it back, and then it's another commercial, and he like, oh, see, it's a commercial. And then he put it back on what he watching. Nigga, you waited 10 minutes to put it on the channel. You know what I mean? Of course it's a commercial. They had 2 commercials in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? But, you don't want no problem, so you fall back, you know what I mean? And you let him do what he do. Everybody know that he's just, a TV hog, and that's how he is. And, a lot of dudes think he's smart. Man, I'm not going to wind up having to kill this dude over no TV. But he just keep doing this. Bang, 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 bang. So then now, here comes another dude, you know what I mean? Comes in, and he like to watch, what's that? Empire at night. You understand what I'm saying? When that come on Wednesday nights. So Wednesday nights, he go up there, when you're in a situation like that, they got it where, you know what I mean? You take a little piece of paper and you write on a little piece of paper, you know what I mean? 8 o'clock Empire, and you get a little piece of tape, you stick it up there, or a little Vaseline, stick it up to the TV or whatever. And, you call 8 o'clock, you watching that. So then now you sitting down watching that at 8 o'clock. Dude, everybody else is out at rec because they got the recall at 8:30. You're in the highlight of the joint at 8:30. You know what I mean? What's the name? Lucius doing something crazy, and Cookie definitely going off the hook. And you all into the joint, and you eating your popcorn, and you drinking your extra sweet Kool-Aid. You understand what I'm saying? So now you sitting there watching the joint, you feeling good, and then all of a sudden they call recall, and everybody come run in to go to the showers. So all of these people here got to share three showers. All of these people in these cells got to share 3 showers. So when they call recall, everybody's out there because let's say it's summertime, it's 90 degrees out, 80 degrees out. Dudes playing weights, dudes walking, dudes jogging, dudes playing basketball. They doing whatever, hanging with their homies. So they sweating from walking and hanging out over there. So while they sitting there doing that, you decide I'm going to just stay in and chill out and watch Empire. You know what I mean? Now, everybody come in and go race to the shower, and then here you go, you sitting there watching the TV, and dude come in, and he takes the remote control, and he changes it from Empire. Click, 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 he's looking for a game. You watching Empire, he don't even say nothing to you. He just click, 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 and he just start changing the channel, looking for something to watch. And you sitting there like, I know this dude didn't just play me like that. Like, do I kill this dude? Do I say something? Do I fight him? You know what I mean? And if you don't say nothing, you know what I mean? He take that as a weakness, And if you say something, you understand what I'm saying? He gonna get slick out the mouth. You understand? Because you figure he got all his homies. You follow what I'm saying? Now, he's sitting there and change the channel on you. You halfway through it. The program is banging. You understand what I'm saying? And then he goes in the shower. And he leaves it on what he's watching instead of even putting it back on what you're watching. You know what I mean? So then now you get up and you go change the channel back to what you're watching. You understand? Now he in the shower, and he got the remote control in the shower, wrapped up in his towel, and, from where the shower at the remote could reach, so he clicks the remote, bang, bang, and he puts it back on what he watching. He in the shower talking about he's watching that. He just came from outside, Pay attention, man. This is how crazy it is. So this is what y'all want to enter into, to put yourself in this environment, in these circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? To be disrespected. You understand what I'm saying? To stand up for what you believe in. You understand what I'm saying? And possibly get killed or have to kill somebody. He in the shower and he changing the channel. Now how the hell you butt naked in the shower and you talking about you watching TV? You ain't been in there all day. You know what I mean? Another man been in there all day. You know, this group of men that stayed in to catch Empire from the beginning, because that's their program. You know what I mean? And he flicks it and puts it on the game. He talk about he watching the game. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that go on. So if that's what you want, go ahead. Now let me give you another one with that. You got dudes that, the same dude now, he got this little remote control. You understand? He'll sit there, he come out the shower, and he goes in one of these cells where you can't see the TV. You know what I mean? And he puts it up on the game and changes it from the Empire. And you got a group of men sitting there, you know what I mean, watching Empire, all into Cookie and Lucius, you know what I mean? And now, and while he's sitting there, you say, yo, dude can't even see the TV. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? Everybody looking at each other, trying to see who's going to be the crash dummy to jump out there and say something, by thinking that, yo, I'm not going to let him disrespect me because I was watching this program and I got a right to watch this program. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you go to the cell and you say, yo, homie, I'm watching that, family. And he's like, nah, but I'm listening to the game. He's in the room telling you he's listening to the game. He just came in, you know what I mean? Got in the shower, changed the TV on you. Now he in that cell and he's telling you that he's listening to the game while you sitting in front of the TV, looking at this goddamn game, looking at the dude next to you. He looking at you and you all thinking, man, I should go kill this dude. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you know, this is where it happens, right? So now this is where the Chicago homie come in. You know what I mean? So the Chicago homie, he all the way from, you know, the Midwest, and, you know, we all the way on the East Coast in Lewisburg, you know? So the Chicago homie, he trying to get back towards the Midwest anyway, so he looking for a transfer. So the Chicago dude get up and he changes the channel, and he puts it back on Empire. So now dude comes out the cell with his boots on, boots laced up, you know what I mean? And he ready to go. You understand what I'm saying? Now, he ready to go. So now here you go, and he rolls up on dude, and he walked right past him looking dead in the face. You understand what I'm saying? And instead of using the remote control, he go up there and he just changed the channel manually, you know what I mean? Back to the game, and the Chicago dude sitting there like, yo, what you doing? And he said, man, I'm watching the game. So the Chicago dude said, nah, I'm watching Empire. And he puts it back on Empire. Bang, bang. You know what I mean? You know, just using Empire as a thing because Empire wasn't out when I was in Lewisburg. I'm just, you know, using that. I don't even remember what it was because I didn't even get into watching TV. I can't tell you, I wasn't watching Martin. I wasn't watching Jamie Foxx. You know what I mean? I wasn't watching none of that in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't start watching TV till I got to a medium security when it was a little bit more easier to watch TV without putting your life in danger or your freedom in danger by having to kill somebody. But the two of them up there arguing back and forth about this TV, man. He puts it on the sports. He changes back on that. Nobody want to throw the first punch. Nobody want to pull the first knife because they already know it ain't going to be no fist fight. It's going to be knives. You know what I mean? So they going back and forth over this. You understand? So then now they homies come, you know what I mean, and separate them. Chicago dudes come, you know what I mean? Of course, the GDs, vice lords, and everybody, because it's the Midwest car, they roll with each other because they out, you know what I mean? They out of their region. They not in the Midwest no more. So now Chicago roll with the GDs, the vice lords, and they all get together and they hold each other down because it might only be about 10 of them, 15 of them on the compound. So, you know, the 1 and 2 that's in the unit with them tell them, yo, come on, homie, leave that shit alone about the TV. You ain't gonna let us crash out over this TV with this knucklehead nigga. You know what I mean? And the Chicago dude like, yo, you know what I mean? Nah, we not going for that. You know what I mean? We don't do that. We don't take that. So he goes back in the cell. You know what I mean? They pull him back in the cell and they talking to him, but they try and talk to him long enough for the show to go off and for him to calm down. And, you know, dude with the remote control, he's standing out there at the TV, you know what I mean? Like he cut like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to tell you, he was a Muslim. So they was Chicago, you know, and the Muslims over TV. And you know, the Muslim community is big on the East Coast because you don't forget, you got Philly, you got DC, you got New York, you know what I mean? The Muslim car is huge. So now the Muslims not with that bull crap. Let's get that right. You know what I mean? But we always know that we got a crash dummy in the car. Every car know we got a crash dummy. And this dude with the damn remote became the crash dummy for the car. Remember, this turned into a remote. So y'all understand. I just want y'all to get a visual. So now the police come down there, they see the commotion, and they back everybody up and they say lockdown. Now they put everybody in their cell to prevent something from going even further. So all of us locked in the cell, and the dude in the cell with the remote, he changed the chop, bang, 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 bang. Police on the tier, you know what I mean? No dudes arguing over the TV. You know, they turn off the TV, and as soon as the police turn his back to leave the channel, leave the joint, he hits the little button and he turns the TV back on. Police turn around, see the TV on, they walk back there, and they go turn the TV off. You know what I mean? So dudes tell him, dude, at least wait till the police leave the tier. You understand what I'm saying? But now he's trying to show that's his TV. Police ain't stopping him. Ain't nobody stopping him. You understand what I'm saying? So now he turns it back on. So now the police get mad and he rips the cord out the wire, you know, out the wall. So you can't use the remote. So now when he do that, the whole unit mad at this dude now, the Muslim dude with the remote. You understand? So now everybody ready to get at him. You know, the Muslims, everybody, because now, you know, we got to spend the whole night, you know what I mean, either reading a book, talking to our celly, you know what I mean, wanting to kill our celly, because a lot of times you don't get along with your celly. But, you know, when you're a good dude and you know how to move, you know how to beat, you know how to, everybody got their own little issues. So you deal, you know, with their issues and, you know, work around it and know the things they're doing is not disrespectful. That's just who the hell they are. You understand? So now they don't plug the TV out. Police done left the tier. So now the next morning, the police opens up the door. So when the police open up the door, everybody group up like Voltron. You see all the different groups in their little pockets. You understand what I'm saying? In that little tier behind us. So everybody stand in front, they homie cell, like whoever, just stay away from it, but they watching it because they know something get ready to happen. You understand what I'm saying? You know when something get ready to happen when you come out and you see the groups of people. But then, of course, you got the dudes that don't, you know what I mean, that don't know no better. So they in themselves sleeping. The doors open, they sleep. They know it was just a big fight and argument over the TV the night before, and they in there sleeping like a baby. You understand what I'm saying? Now, while they sitting there sleeping, now, the Chicago dudes, it was only a couple of them in there. So they know they had to make their move quick. You know what I mean? So a few of the Muslim dudes, they sleep because they figure it's only a handful of Chicago dudes. So ain't nobody going to jump out there. You know what I mean? And do nothing with the Muslims because the Muslim might have 20 dudes in the unit. You understand what I'm saying? But when they call the child, you know, the Muslims usually they be on their workout time. You know what I mean? You know, they make their salat. They get up early and they go out. So everybody go eat. So when everybody go eat, the Muslim brother, you know what I mean, that, you know, that got the remote, that caused all this problem, he stays up all night watching TV on a normal basis. So his sleep clock is he stay up all night watching TV and then he goes to sleep during the day. So his brothers went to go eat. When his brothers went to go eat, he laid up in the cell. It's only a handful of Chicago dudes in there. So, you know, a couple of them left to go eat. They told him, yo, go ahead, man. You know what I mean? Go on and go eat. You know what I mean? So the dude that he was beefing with over TV, he stayed back and he's on something. Nah, I'm not going to let that happen. So he got his boots laced up. You understand what I'm saying? He got his long johns on and they gave us army fatigues then. He got his army fatigue on, got his army scully on. You understand what I'm saying? He got the joint zipped all the way up, and he got his boots tied all the way up. So he dressed in full riot gear. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, the Muslim brothers, they pray, you know what I mean? And then they go wait, you know, behind me where's the front of the unit. And, you know, for the, you know, them to call chow, and then they go eat. You understand? But they thinking it's over. You know what I mean? So they're not really even paying attention to none of that. So they leave, and the last thing on their mind is that these Chicago dudes, it's only a handful of them, they're not going to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? They know better. This is what the Muslims is thinking. These Chi-Town dudes know better. You understand what I'm saying? They would never think of nothing like that. That's what they thinking. So they leave, and they not, and the Muslim brothers, you know what I mean? We gonna hold down our own. Let's get that right. But, you know, we know dude is a crash dummy. And we done forgot about the incident the night before, to an extent. We still know what happened, but if the dude that's beefing, he still sleep, you know what I mean? And you know he a crash dummy, dudes didn't even go wake him up. Like, yo, get up. What are you doing? You did all this last night. You need to be up. You know what I mean? Now, if he was a good dude that they all, respected, somebody that was close to him would have went and woke him up. But in the morning, after everybody made salat, they got on the phone, called their family, brushed their teeth, drunk their coffee. They did what they had to do to get their day started. And the last thing they thinking about is that television. That's what we call it in prison. Television. The last thing they thinking about is that television. You know what I mean? Or the incident that happened, the night before, because they wasn't even in it. So they just seen it, and they know that, the dude with the remote control, he gets into it every night with somebody over that damn TV, and nobody jump out there because they know the Muslims are strong. You understand? But the Chicago dude wasn't having it. And he trying to get transferred out of there anyway to go closer to the Midwest. He figured anywhere he go going to be closer to the Midwest or better than here. Because if they sent him to Atlanta, it's a sweeter jail than Lewisburg because they got all black police. They had actual coins there, like 25 cents. You know what I mean? Where quarters. You know what I mean? When you take the quarters and you put them in the vending machine, and vending machines on the compound, so dude might have $1,000 in quarters in the cell back in the early 90s because they had vending machines on the compound. Yes, vending machines on the compound. I'm giving them to you real raw and uncut right now. So dude figure if they send me to Atlanta, I'm good. You know what I mean? If they send me to California, I'm just as worse off as I am here in Lewisburg. This is what he's thinking. But if they send me to Leavenworth, Terry Hut is in my backyard. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm good. You know what I mean? So, everybody go eat. And the Chicago dude, he all dressed, ready to war, ready to go to war. That's how they get down. And I'm going to say this, man. And I'm going to say this. Just keeping it 100. Yo, Chicago dudes is about that money in the prison. Anybody that's in the prison know, Chi-Town, all this going on now with Chirac and the shootings and the wildness and all that, you know what I mean? Chicago dudes, they hold their own, as you see from the story I'm getting ready to give you. But Chicago dudes was about getting that money. You know what I mean? They didn't get into no dumb stuff like that because that's where they got the Black Gorilla family, like I said, the El Rukins, Jet Ford. So they came up under a structure. You understand what I'm saying? So they not into the bull, but they gonna get that money. Chicago gonna get that money. Anybody watching this that know how Chicago is in the penitentiary, they gonna get that money. You know what I mean? Now, just keeping it 100. So, people might get offended. But now you talking about like the GDs, you know what I mean? They gonna get it, they gonna put their work in. You know what I mean? They like to rumble. The vice lords, they like to rumble. That's because it's a big organization. They got the youngins that come in, and the youngins be buck wild. You know what I mean? And you got the youngins, like the GDs and vice lords. You had a lot of them coming in from as time went on, from Tennessee. You understand what I'm saying? And from in the South, that people went from Chicago to Tennessee and stuff like that. So that's where you had the little vice lords and all that, the young boys coming in wilding. But let me get back to the story. So everybody go eat, homie in the joint, because I want to speed this up. I know y'all like me to get longer videos, and I like to keep the energy up and let the whole jive ride. So now, everybody go eat. Dude got his joint on. Soon as they call the joint, all the Muslim brothers, after they made their prayer, they feeling good. Last thing on their mind is fighting. They done sat there, they done made their rock arts, you know what I mean? They said their prayers, and they feeling good. They gonna go eat, and they gonna see the other homies from other unit. You understand what I'm saying? That, they couldn't see because they was locked in the night before, so that's all they focus on. They're not focusing on this TV bull crap that happened the night before. You understand what I'm saying? Because they know they not in no danger, even though they care about the brother that got into it, but he wasn't trying to listen. So early morning, everybody thinking he's already up because they get up to pray. But he's been sleeping all night all day. He's sleeping throughout the day because he stays up watching TV even though the police plugged the TV out, that he couldn't sleep. So he in there talking to his celly and talking about, man, that dude ain't gonna do nothing. Them Chicago dudes this, them Chicago dudes that. And this is where, going, and he pumping himself up in there until he gets so tired he fall asleep. Now he fall asleep, they open the door, like I said, everybody go eat here, and then here comes, the Chicago dude. When everybody go to eat, the Chicago dude ran up in the Muslim brother's cell, man. Yo, he punished them something crazy. I mean, stabbed them all in the face. I'm going to give you another one about dude get stabbed in the face from sleep. That's how I learned not to, to get up when the doors crack. When the doors crack, you get up in the penitentiary. Anybody watching this know that's the rules. The doors crack, you get up and get suited and goddamn booted. I'm talking to you like a sergeant because you need to know this. So if your dumbass want to keep running the streets, if your dumbass want to keep breaking the law, and your dumbass take your ass in that penitentiary, know it's time to man up. And when the doors open, you need to be suited and booted. Don't tell me I didn't tell you. You need to be suited and booted. Homie wasn't suited and booted. His opposition was. He ran up in the joint, caught him laying down. He all up under the covers, tucked in, feeling good, dreaming about his girl, whatever masturbation he had the night before, thinking about making love with a threesome or whatever. Dude ran up in there and woke him up out of that by putting something as simple as a pen in his eye. This is a deadly weapon. But they got to sell him on the commissary. This little pen. He took the pen and went in there with the pen and went to working him. When he was done with him, he came, when they took him out that cell, blood was everywhere. So dude punishes him and leaves him in the cell. So now when he punishes him and leaves him in the cell, everybody come back from eating, and one of the Muslim brothers come back that normally when they go to breakfast in the morning, they know he sleeps, so he always tell the Muslim brother, yo, bring me back some milk, homie. You know what I mean? If you can't bring me back some toast. So, they'll stick a little milk in their pocket, bring back. They go to bring the milk back and they see him in there all bloody. You understand what I'm saying? So now, only thing that prevented it from getting crazy was when he goes in there and sees him with the blood on the joint. The police was walking down the tier because they got to walk down on the left side, go all the way down, go on the right side, you know what I mean? Walk all the way up. Then they go upstairs and they do the same. The police walked by and saw him going in the cell. And when he looked in the cell, he saw blood everywhere on the sheets. Because, they give you white sheets. So when the police seen that, he hit the dude and said, yeah, lockdown. So when they call lockdown, they locked the whole joint down. Now, you see how this jail is behind me? Lewisburg was set up where they didn't have no cameras in the jail. That's why Bill Clinton came in and they built all that, Allen Wood, Beaumont, McCurry, Victorville, Atwater, you understand what I'm saying? Canaan, Pollock. They built all these prisons. They put mad cameras because of incidents like this. So dude is in the joint. And there's no cameras. The police see it. They call lockdown. They lock the joint down. So when they lock the joint down, they bring everybody in. Now we lock down in the cell. This is going to be a little lengthy. I'm going to give you about how the lockdown played out. They got everybody locked down in the cell, and now it's a crime scene. He in there with his eye all out, laying up in the bed. He twisted. So they winds up getting him to the medical. So now they pull all the cells out one at a time, you know what I mean, you and your cellie, and they bring you upstairs to the unit team office, and they got a little piece of checklist where they ask you, did something happen last night? Did something happen in the yard? Did something happen at breakfast? Trying to figure out what happened because there was no cameras, so now they got to do real investigation work. You know what I mean? And we in the penitentiary where dudes ain't telling nothing. You know what I mean? Let's get that right. Dudes ain't telling nothing. But of course, you got the dudes that work for the unit team and administration that, want to get access to the remote control so they can bring it back and sell it to dudes like me that got money to buy it. You understand what I'm saying? So now, of course, they tell them, the Chicago dudes and Muslim dudes was all good on TV, and they tells them everything. So now they hear Chicago, not DC, Chicago and Muslims. So they go and they grab all the Chicago dudes on the whole prison compound. They take every Chicago dude and they put them in the hole. You know what I mean? That's what you call PC. They put them in PC. PC is not where they checked in the PC. This is what they call administration detention. Meaning the administration puts you in PC. You understand what I'm saying? To try and protect your life. But you better believe the Chicago dudes was ready to roll because they were strapped up. You understand what I'm saying? So they done locked the whole joint down. And like I said, it ain't that many Chicago dudes there. So they grabbed all of them, put them in a hole, and they grabbed the Muslim dudes from out the unit that had happened, put them in a hole. Then they went to the other units, got the Muslim dudes that they know, like the Sharif, you know what I mean? That's like the security. And the other people that they know got it on their jacket that they going to pop off with something go. So now they in a whole nother unit doing their thing. They don't know what happened down there because that's a normal thing with this dude with this damn remote controlling the radio every goddamn day with somebody, but everybody let him ride. So here they go coming to other units locking those men up. They lock them men up and they throw them in the shoe. Now they on the shoe talking about what happened. And then they tell them what happened. They be like, yo, but y'all was in a unit with him. Why y'all ain't get involved and stop that? And they like, yo, dude, keep doing that. You know what I mean? But, we don't let no one put their hands on anyone in our car. You know what I mean? Just like the Muslims don't let anybody put their hands on the Muslims. You understand what I'm saying? So it's on with the Chicago dudes because of what happened. You understand what I'm saying? Because, a Chicago dude put his hand on a Muslim dude, even though the Muslim dude was wrong, the Muslims got to still hold him down. So y'all listen to this, you young boys. Imagine you go in there and, somebody in your car do something stupid like that, and then now you got to fight for him. And if you don't fight for him, the opposition is going to go at you because they expect you to fight for him. So you don't have no choice but to fight. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to put yourself in that situation, you go ahead and do that. But so they done locked everybody up and they done transferred them. You know what I mean? To transferred all the Chicago dudes because if they didn't get them off the pound, I'm not Chicago keeping it 100. The Muslims would have butchered them. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about 300-400 Muslims. You know what I mean? And like I said, about 10 Chicago dudes. So they done shipped them. They might ship 2 or 3 of them to Atlanta. You know what I mean? The main dude, they might ship them out to Lompoc, because it's all the way across country. Figured that, it'd be longer for the penitentiary wire to get to them in Lompoc to know what this crash dummy done did. You know what I mean? But being that the administration didn't like him anyway, you know what I mean? They sends him over across the street. You know what I mean? They sends him over across the street. You know what I mean? We call Atlanta across the street. They sent him down to Atlanta USP. He get down to Atlanta USP. So now he get down to Atlanta USP and, dudes met dudes in Oklahoma Transit Center is where everybody meet up. I got to do a whole drawing about how Oklahoma is. I love Oklahoma. A lot of people don't like it. But in Oklahoma, that's where everybody that's being transferred to any prison, whether FCI, medium, penitentiary, supermax, got to go through Oklahoma for a processing center. Then they got all the planes that take you on the hub and they take you where you need to go. So now, dude met up with some of the other dudes over there in Oklahoma, and they knew where dude was going to Atlanta. So they done sent word what happened in Lewisburg from Oklahoma with this dude in Atlanta. You understand what I'm saying? Dude already all stabbed up and all crazy. You know what I mean? So now he hit the penitentiary in Atlanta. Soon as he hit the compound in Atlanta and he goes out there, you understand what I'm saying? Chicago, no disrespect, just keeping it 100. Soon as he goes out there on the compound, you know what I mean? The Muslim brother puts up on the Chicago dudes and tell him, yo, your man, you know what I mean? Had to put the Chicago dude say, your man, had to put his work in, and he put his hands on one of us and he coming on the compound, and, it's going to be repercussions for him touching a Muslim. You know what I mean? We not going for that. You understand what I'm saying? And the Chicago dude is like, yo, we're not going to allow you to put your hands on our homie. You understand what I'm saying? And, we're not going to put our hands on our homie because we already got word, you know what I mean, that our homie was being disrespected and he stood up for what was right and handled his business. And your man, your Muslim brother, was at the bad end of the stick. You understand what I'm saying? So that now it's a standoff with it. So, the imam come out there and talk to the dude that's running the Chicago car. Now when the imam out there talking to the dude that's running the Chicago car, now they got to come to an understanding of either going to war, and right now, don't forget, we in Atlanta, so it's, more Chicago dudes there. Not as much as the Muslim, but it ain't that many Muslim dudes either because they didn't have a lot of Muslims in the South then. So now the cars are about equal. So now you got both of these dudes in there trying to figure out what they're going to do because the Chicago dude put their hands on the Muslim dude, even though the Muslim dude was 100% wrong. You understand? But the Muslim is going to hold the Muslim dude down. That's because he's Muslim, and nobody put their hands on the Muslim because they feel that the Chicago dude should have came to the Muslims and told them that, yo, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. Y'all need to check your man before we check him and put the knife in him. You know what I mean? But dude ain't do none of that. He ain't say nothing to none of the Chicago dudes. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't even tell the other Chicago dudes in the other units when we was in Lewisburg. He just went and, the ones in the unit knew what time it was. So they go in the kitchen and, they tell him what's going on. So when the deuces were, when the dude came back and found him and the deuces went on, because the Chicago dudes in Lewisburg don't went got their knives once they heard what happened in the kitchen. But now they more on defense because, they outnumbered. You know what I mean? But then once they locked it down, that's how that defused it. But back to Atlanta. Keep up, man. Keep up. All right? Keep up. All right? So now we back over there in Atlanta, and the Muslim and the Chicago shot caller and the imam and them and the Sharif, they talking in the yard trying to figure out how they going to handle this situation with the Chicago dude that came there that put his hands on a Muslim dude. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you the rest of this later. So don't be mad at me. I know you want to hear it. So drop in the comments if you want to hear how they handled that when they got to Atlanta and how they dealt with dude putting his hands on a Muslim, even though the Muslim was 100% wrong. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and you see the Cash App on the screen. You want these stories, you know, I got to get cameras, microphones, and whole goddamn nine. Let's do what we got to do, man. All right?
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nordica Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner, Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What? Fresh out the can of 26,
Yeah.
he back on the strip, getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit.
Yeah.
Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn.
Real.
Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. Baby horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the rude men.
All right, so you know what it is. Let me tap out, man. Damn, I done forgot to come back. All right, enjoy your day.